welcome back. Today I decided to continue on with the rehearsal. No, actually, this is not a rehearsal. This is the acoustic cover of Titanium. But it was recommended or suggested by someone who commented that it continues on the line of like what I'm finding. There's a lot of somewhat humorous videos of Angelina Jordan and her performances that she had. There's always things that are a little bit funny. So this was recommended to me, and again, this is the acoustic cover of Titanium. So this is quite interesting. It would be quite interesting, I think.
Shut it out, but I can hear a word you say.
Now, this is the type of I've heard the song in passing. I have never really paid that much attention to it. But I see that the setup is quite different, and the guitarist is Egil, I believe his name is now. I think that's what Clausen, maybe, if I remember correctly from what I read from one of your comments. Thank you for that. And I think he's there a lot with her when she's in Norway, and there's somebody else in Los Angeles when she's in the United States, another guitarist, for the acoustic solos that she does with the guitarists, usually anyway. And I think the other person is called Ivan Mendes. Mendes. Okay, I'm not sure. But anyway, so and the setup is different. The mic, for the first time, I think I see a different mic. This is quite a different setup. So, but her voice is always like somewhat shocking, because it's always so different in some way or other at the beginning.
I'm talking loud, not saying much.
So I'm going to start over, so just to make sure that the whole thing is done well.
Talking loud, not saying much.
I just start at the same place.
Criticize, but all your bullets ricochet. You shut me down, but I get up.
Okay, I think now I remember that somebody mentioned that the guitarist Egil, it tends to move bob his head a lot, and that's part of his, I think, timing for the guitar. And yeah, and it's funny because I'm starting to move my head just watching him. It's like it's infectious.
Nothing to lose, fire away, fire away. Ricochet, you take your aim, fire away, fire away.
First of all, her voice, I mean, is just so beautiful. But I have to say, at this point, he's taking over the show, the guitarist, because I can't keep my eyes off of his bubbling, with his head. He's really into it. And it's a good thing that she's a little bit, I think, in front of him, sitting or standing. I never know with her, because she could be sitting down and still be tall. A little bit in front of him, so she doesn't see him, I think, doing his bubbling with his head, because it must be distracting at some point.
Shut me down, but I won't fall. Not titanium. Shut me down, but I won't fall. Not titanium.
Okay, there's so much going on here. There's the bubbling head on the side. We're keeping his timing and really into it, which I really like. But at the same time, Angelina's voice and the way it's funny, whenever That's I think what distinguishes her from a lot of singers. She's got the power to belt out. That's obvious. And we've seen that before. But she doesn't do that. She uses her breathy voice to encapsulate the highs. Instead of like belting out, she makes them breathy, the tones, or at least that's what I think. The notes become breathy instead of loud. I think it's a particular talent she has that she does that, because I think I remember doing that in one of the Adele songs specifically. So yeah, one of the Adele covers that she did. So this is something else.
Cut me down, but it's you who has further to fall. Goes down on the low.
It's obvious she's distracted because I think she's reading the lyrics. It's amazing, you know. This girl reads the lyrics. Still reading the lyrics, meaning that she doesn't necessarily know by heart the song, right? That means she hasn't practiced maybe a long time with the song, as opposed to any artist that knows it by heart and has practiced many times. She does it, she's reading, and still it comes out as if she's done it like a million times, as good, if not as better than the original. Now that is hard to explain, and it's hard to grasp in my mind, you know, that she's able to do that. Imagine you're reading and it's coming out as good or better than the original. I mean, just think about it in any other sense. Okay, let's say you're doing a presentation in front of people, right? And if you're well prepared, you don't have to read your notes necessarily. And then all of a sudden you're reading the lyrics or reading something, you're distracted by the reading. And it's not necessarily the presentation or your voice may not be exactly the same because you're being distracted. So you may not continue in the same way unless you have practiced it so many times and you're proficient at doing presentations. And maybe that's what it is. She's so good at presenting and performing that she knows how to continue without lapses or different intonations, even if she's reading. And that is an art form in itself. That's because she's a professional in her performance, in her technique of performing. Yeah, I never thought of that. I never thought about it that way specifically, but yeah, that's anyway. And then she gives that little Mona Lisa smile. Every once in a while, she gives a little nod to the viewer. You know, here I am. You know, still me. Yeah, I'm reading. I'm doing other stuff, but I'm back. You know.
Raise your voice. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much.
My dad used to say that a lot, but not in English. In Italian, there's a different proverb. He always had a lot of proverbs. Maybe it's the age that because he was much older, and I think obviously. So he passed through the Depression era, and I don't know, but I think they recounted things. They recounted memories and story. It was a lot of stories. I guess they didn't have they didn't have television, obviously, and I guess it was just radio maybe at that point. But they recounted things through stories and through proverbs, a lot of proverbs. and sticks and stones may not break your bone. What did you say again? Hold on. What does the song say?
Not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Violate, fire away. Ricochet, you take your aim. Violate, fire away.
I missed it. I don't know where it was. Where was the sticks and stones? Hold on.
Raise your voice. Sticks and stones may break my bones.
Sticks and stones may break my bones. That's what that was part of it. But the proverb that I remember is more like a tongue doesn't have any bones, but it'll break bones. Something like that. Translation. It's a translation. I guess the meaning is be careful what you say, because it sometimes that could be just as bad as sticks and stones.
Talking loud, not saying much.
She always had that little smile, you know. But I think that's what and no matter what song she sings, it's always pleasant, because she always brings her little humor to it, and an innocence in the sense of how she sees any song.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Violate, fire.
Okay, now I'm looking at the guitarist, and I'm telling you, I'm starting to mimic him, because I can't believe I'm shaking my head a lot of times when Angelina's singing, because she's phenomenal. But he's really into it.
Ricochet, you take your aim. Violate, fire away. You shut me down, and I won't fall. Let the
Okay, she's amazing, and he's like, he must be quite a character too, because when you learn how to play the guitar, I wonder if you learned, if that came as the bobbling of the head came along with him playing the guitar, or if it's just something that he does because he enjoys Angelina singing, and he's really like thinking about what she's saying and so on. So
shut me down, and I won't fall. Let the
oh yeah, he's definitely enjoying this. Okay, I think it's gonna go on to the next video here, and I did Autumn Leaves. I reacted to Autumn Leaves. That was an amazing cover by Angelina. Hold on, but this is not finished.
Sitter og rocker, ja.
What happened? Wait a second. I think I think she noticed them finally. I mean, it must have been quite a change, because she's used to the guitarist, and if he's, from my understanding, he does that a lot, right? And from what I saw previously, he bobbles his head. That's just timing for his guitar and so on. But even this must have really surprised her, because he was really swinging away with his head, going just moving side to side and up and down. It's like crazy. Hold on. Now, I think part of the reason she didn't notice before is because when she's singing the song, a lot of it is with her eyes closed, especially when she hits those notes, those high notes with she wasn't really looking, you know. And finally, she looks on the side and she sees him. I don't know what he said. What did he say? Because did I surprise you? Oh God. Now see why you've recommended to watch this, because yeah, I mean, to see her giggle like that, I mean, she must have been really surprised. So I think there's another one that someone suggested that he does the same thing. He really seems to be get carried away with his bobbling of along. But I can understand it. I mean, he's very passionate, I guess, about playing his guitar and enjoying the music. That's pretty cool. And every once in a while, you see how her youth, she shows her youth, and she reminds us that that voice belongs to still a young person, and that's I think what makes her so special, that she incorporates that professionalism, that maturity, and that youthful aspect, and it's all surrounded with the concept, with her compassion and love, and that's what I find her beauty. When I speak about her beauty, I'm talking about all of that, her compassion, her love, her all that emerges, all that light is part and of the package of beauty that she represents, not just on the physical sense, which seems to be happening as well, but it's all the different components that make a person beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, have a great day. Thanks for this, and I'll try and find the other one that you suggested. Thank you. Bye bye.